are back for section 9.4 in math. We're going to be on page 189 towards the bottom, middle to the bottom. So this is going to be adding and subtracting percents and finding totals. All right, so when you're out shopping, grocery shopping, clothes shopping, whatever, you're going to encounter percentages off. We've already been practicing with finding percentages off a total, but we're going to go one step further. Suppose you're out shopping. You have a 15% off coupon and you want to use it on a $20 item. You'll save $3 because 15% of $20 is $3. Now, you now know your savings, but how much will you actually end up paying for the item? You're not going to pay $3. That's your amount that you get off. There's a couple of things, a couple of different ways then to find that answer, but to understand them, we have to first look at how to add and subtract percents. Now, any guesses how to add or subtract percents? If you guessed converting to decimals or fractions, you're correct. It's definitely one way to add or subtract. But since percents are basically numerators of 100, you can take a shortcut. We're going to take a look. So look at page 190. Here's an example. 49% plus 2%. Well, you know 49% is 49 over 100, and you know 2% is 2 over 100, so you just add it up, you get 51%. Ta-da! Or you can change to decimals. 0.49 plus 0.02 equals 0.51, which is 51%. Ta-da! So notice there's really no need to write the percents as decimals or fractions since all percents are numerators of the same denominator. Just add them up. 49 plus 2 is 51. They just were showing you what they were actually. Now, do the same thing with subtraction. 51% minus 49%. Convert those either way or just simply subtract them in your head. Now, since percents are all numerators of the same denominator, it's 100, adding and subtracting is just a matter of adding or subtracting the numerators. Remember when we were adding and subtracting fractions, you've got to have the same denominator. Well, when you're doing percentages, they already have the same denominator. You know they're both 100. Now, look at that big black box, or big gray box there. We're going to look at that. Once again, we're applying what we already know about addition and subtraction to another notation. Percents. You'll find that for each new notation we learn, we'll revisit the basic operations to see how they can be done in the new operation or the new notation. And each time we'll build on the basic assumption that addition and subtraction are consistent. We can rely on this assumption because we can rely on God to faithfully keep his covenant with the ordinances of heaven and earth. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. Jeremiah 33, 25, and 26. Okay, so now this is the part that you need to know. At the very bottom and the top of page 191. Now, to return to figuring out your discount that you get off your item. So look at the top of 191. Now, you know the original cost and you know the percent of the discount. So you could just find the discount amount, subtract it. So if you got 15% off coupon and you bought a $20 item, you know that 15% of $20 is $3 because we've already done the calculation. So then you take the original amount of the item, which is 20, subtract the amount off, the discount amount off, which is 3, so you're going to pay $17 for the item, okay? Or you could approach the problem differently entirely. Rather than finding 15% of 20, you could have viewed the original cost as 100% full price and subtracted the 15% discount to find the percent of the original you'll end up paying. Basically, 100% minus 15% is 85%. Now, to find how much you would have to pay, you just need to find 85% of $20. So 85 times 20, 85%, 85 100ths times $20 is $17. I do the first way. That's easier for me, but either way you get the same answer. Just two different ways to think about the same problem. You'll find both methods helpful at different times, but generally for the most part, the first one is what I do. So the same principles apply when you add a percent to a total as well as when you take a percentage off. For example, if your total purchase, so if you'll look at number 1, we're finding the total purchase, it was $10 and 10% sales tax was added to that. So find 10% of $10 and then you add it to the $10. So 10% of $10 is $1. So you're going to add $1 to the original price, which was $11. So that's what you're going to end up doing. Now find 110% of $10. So here we're just adding together the percents we need. So to find 100%, which represents our original amount, and our 10% sales tax, you're just going to add that together and get 110. And then move your decimal and you get 1.1 when you move your decimal times the $10 equals $11. Those were just the two ways of finding it. Like I said, I get a little bit confused on the second part. To me, it seems like you're doing a little bit more work, but either way of those, both of those are helpful. So let's look at the keeping perspective right quick. Percents are a handy tool. Whether calculating the total you'll pay at the store with tax or after a discount, the amount you'll save, the tip you should leave, or the portion of the total number of pages you've completed in a book. Percents help us in real life, but be careful. Percents, like any other math concept, can be used for good and for evil. Unfortunately, percents can be presented in a misleading way. For example, suppose a business claims their new vitamin solution is 96% effective at keeping people healthy. They're claiming that 96 out of 100 people who take their solution will stay healthy. If the business tested their solution only on people who do not normally catch colds, though, then saying the solution is 96% effective would be deceptive. Look at the next page. It's also important to note that a 96% effectiveness doesn't mean the company tested the solution on 100 people. They may have tested only on 50 people and had 48 stay healthy, or 500, out of which 480 stayed healthy. When a result is expressed as a percent, it's sharing the results as a portion of 100. For example, 48 out of 50 and 480 out of 500 are both equivalent ratios to 96 over 100. Whatever the actual numbers were, a claim of 96% effectiveness just means the ratio between those vitamin solution kept healthy and those tested was equivalent to 96 out of 100. As you see percents used in various ways, remember we live in a fallen world. The data behind a percent does not always support a claim, so beware. The Bible teaches us God is the only one that we can trust completely. Let God be true and every man a liar. Romans 3:4. So that is something to take into consideration. If you'll look at your worksheet, worksheet 9.4, it's going to be front and back. The back on number 5, it's a little bit longer problem. You can use your calculator on that. You can also use it on number 2 and number 3. I'm going to go ahead and just let you have at it. I shouldn't have to go over it with you. I think I will grade it, but I'm going to use, I think I'm only going to grade 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think 5, A and B, I'll use that as a bonus. So I'll let you know on Google Classroom what all this is going to be worth. Now, I would like for you to try number 5, A and B. Don't just not do it because it's bonus. If you get it wrong, I won't count it wrong. If you get it right, I'll count it as bonus. But do try to do it. Okay? If you need any help, let me know. That's all your lesson for today.